Alright, I suppose I should have checked the camera before I did this, because it's not pointed where I need it. Of course, it's going to be pointed at my monitor here shortly. Alright, so this is the mountain of evidence that we're working on.
Get out of my water. You got
It's a
water.
bunch of crap. But it's got to be sorted through. We did most of the sorting. There's a little bit of technical difficulties, so I have a couple of extra helpers today. Hopefully we'll get something done. And I guess that's about it. We should probably get started. There's a lot to go through. I'll probably talk throughout this about some of the situations and show what's going on as I'm showing the evidence. And let's see.
You have it. Yeah.
All right. Well, this one right here.
You're back.
Have anything?
Do you still have it on?
Yeah.
What are you guys looking for? All right. Hey, Tara, could you come look at some of this stuff?
Oh, on the.
Yeah, I want to show you.
You're gonna do the video.
But it's not pointed at you, it's pointed at the evidence that I got to go through. Because there's stuff I need you to look at. This one right here, this is from the Daily Camera. These two guys, this one is a friend of mine. This one used to be. Oh, he sent me a friend request. Oh no, I sent him a friend request. All right,
I don't
so
have my glasses for that one. Okay.
anyway, this is about my friend Daniel Kitlitz, and I can show you that we're friends. He's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to show what happened with him and how the Boulder police did not do their job. Actual friends, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He was killed due to Boulder police negligence. Now, after
Stop.
Natalie was
Yeah.
killed, the guy in internal affairs that I had to talk to, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody for like the first 12 to 14 months. I mean, these guys made it impossible. It's everybody else's job but their own. Now, that's always the way that they deal with it when you're homeless. I don't know how many of my friends have been incinerated in kilns in Boulder, but we've lost a lot of people. I mean, we're talking about, in that 10-year period, 300 people that I personally knew.
Mm-hmm.
And Rabbit knows more than I do. I mean, he's been there longer. Could you imagine how many of his friends are dead?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. He just doesn't have the same attachment to people that I do. These are two videos about people that, well, they were actually a part of the situation. This is Tony. He was giving Danny CPR. Danny had been dead for hours. The police got a call at 6:45. Let me type this one in. I'll show you. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that was supposed to be investigating it, his name is Gerhardt. Boulder police report death of homeless man near Pearl Street Mall. Now you see the alley. God damn it, I hate that. I really hate it when it does that.
Deep breath.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Most people tell me to take a deep breath when I'm already taking a deep breath. You'll see
It
how
bounces.
it did
I hate when
have it up.
the
didn't
camera
it?
does that shit.
Oh yeah. So
That's why I asked you to check into those cameras. They were freezing on me.
with that right there, Like there's a lot of stuff that I can't put on the internet because first of all, I don't have the technical skills. And
Right.
Ed, are you any good at web design or anything of that nature? Because that right there would definitely be a big help.
Yes, I am.
I suck at that stuff. I didn't have the money because it was all
I
going
need
to
to
the
play
courts.
with this.
But then they illegally
I was
prevented me from
trying.
going to court.
Let me try again.
All right.
Yes, I can do web design. It's one thing I'm really good with. And if I don't know how to do it, all I got to do is call my Uncle JR and he'll walk me through it.
All right. So anyway, this is the article from the Daily Camera. Homeless man found dead near. They're not going to. Please provide an email address to continue reading free articles. All right. You know what? I suppose I should probably do that, but I don't feel like doing all of everything that it takes right now to go through that legal stuff because it's just a big pain in the butt. I can do that when it's not being recorded because I don't need anybody having my social security number or phone number or anything like that and being able to harass me again.
Right.
But
Has somebody hacked your system once already?
I have an email from Facebook that tells me that there was the police got a hold of it while I was incarcerated in Boulder after I was assaulted by Officer Waylon Wolatai. And I'm going to show all the stuff about what happened with him too. Like he just loves beating the hell out of homeless people.
Sounds like I need to go fucking play homeless for a day.
No, don't say stuff like that. That gets you arrested. They'll pretend like you're threatening to harm people, and then lo and behold, the next thing you know, you're in jail, and you didn't mean nothing by it in that sort of direction. So you basically have to over-explain yourself, and then they're like, well, we don't care. The fact that you insinuated anything at all, which is why I always clarify.
Oh no, it's exactly what I insinuated.
Well, I exactly insinuate that I am 100% against killing people.
So am I.
Well, then I don't know what you were insinuated, and as a result, I jumped to the wrong conclusion, and my apologies.
Insinuated to set him up so I can have a gentleman conversation with him.
Well, the best thing to do in that scenario is to have a camera and a recorder present. But here's the thing. Right now, what we're focusing on is the evidence. And Tara, can you come look at this stuff?
She's like,
I really need you for that a lot more than I need you to sort through that stuff. It's well enough organized now. And like this is, 5 years worth of crap that I've had to go through. I took, this is the stuff that I got from different places that I was in. I tried to keep it like this as best I can. There's a lot of people that I spoke with. Like this is Shelly Campbell. Okay, this is one of Natalie's stepmoms.
Thank you very much.
They wanted to pretend that we weren't in contact and so on and so forth. Basically, they kept on doing the same thing everybody else did. They were pretending like they were going to help me, but in reality, they had absolutely no interest. The whole time, the only thing that I was interested in was their safety, and a lot of the things that they were saying to me, like, I didn't want to give out everybody's phone numbers and shit. So, I mean, I had to just tell this stuff instead of showing it. And then people are like, oh, you're lying, show us the evidence. But if I show it, then I end up getting YouTube banned or Facebook banned. I mean, it's a fucked up mess. There's also the fact that there's a lot of threats in here. And I ended up with my Facebook not wanting to work for 30 days because I posted up screenshots of the threats against my life. So, I mean, it's been an uphill battle. They've changed the algorithms with Facebook and YouTube now so that people can't just call everything spam and have it go away like they did, because they seriously destroyed a lot of evidence that I need a judge to sign stuff to unseal.
You can play with it.
But this is all things that happened since the beginning with the situation with Natalie. And, I wanted to probably start off at the beginning on that.
Okay.
This is what all of this is over. The Dual County Sheriff's Department, I'd gone to them a couple of times about the situation. There was more than one situation
Stop.
where Laura Nelson was involved. Her and her husband were the ones that sold me that vehicle. And I don't want them thinking I'm trying to sue them or have them think that anything that happened in Virginia was their fault at all. It's the fact that that was a pre-existing problem with the vehicle and it was a seriously screwed up situation. Like if it couldn't have gone worse. It was a fucked up situation. But I want to also make sure that probably the first half of what we're doing is showing you obviously where the things that she had said, and then also show you the stuff with her and her sister during that period of time, and also my friend Brett Roloff and a lot of other people who really did try to come forward and were shoved off. And they didn't really fight for their rights after that. They just said, oh, well, you got to let it go. And you don't get to let it go when people are hurting you, when people are threatening to kill you and your family and shit like that. And you're going to get to see a lot of the threats and stuff from different people. And you're also going to get to see the effects of what happens when cops don't collect evidence, don't care, and brush you off. They did such a screwy job that like the only recourse that they had to try to shut me up and be able to destroy evidence was to charge me with crimes I didn't commit and get permission to go into my Facebook and shit. And I had already given all of that stuff to the detectives in Natalie's case. There was no reason for the Boulder Police Department to assault me. It was obvious that I was trying to make a report and explain the situation. They told me they were taking me somewhere where I could make the report safely, and they didn't. They took me to the hospital and were going to put drugs in me. And I called up my friend Miss Jerry, and I was like, Miss Jerry, they're doing some fucked up shit. I'd specifically asked for Ramos, and instead they took me in for a 72-hour hold. No matter what, when you're trying to turn something like that in after it's been all over the news, and it was all over the news.
It's because they were trying to cover it up.
Well, of course they were, but they eventually caught the guy who did it. The problem is they'd committed quite a few felonies, and used officers that had a history of doing that, and also sent me to a facility with a history of covering for officers. It was just, no matter what, anything that they could do to prevent me from making a police report, including sending me to a different jurisdiction when I tried to turn them in, and then saying I couldn't turn them in because I was in the wrong jurisdiction. And then I got to deal with people like Scott DaCosta. He's known that I'm trying to turn him in since 2018, and his officers. And as a result, he's been telling people that I'm schizophrenic, calling up other jails around here. Like 5 different jails were involved with locking me up. And this is all over a situation.
Where's he a cop out of?
He's a cop here in Chapel. He's the sheriff of Chapel, Nebraska. But I've got literally hundreds of conversations with witnesses about the situations that I've been through. And the problem is that without somebody who's family to go in with me in person and to fight for my rights and to speak up and to say this isn't right, even if it means going to the media or, the thing is it never should have gotten that far anyway. And that's the problem, is that they knew something was going on. They knew there was an issue here in Chapel. And when I went to the cops about the threats and the harassment and all the other BS, like, they wouldn't do nothing. They told me the Nebraska thing, you just need to man up. We got real police work to do, shit like that. But they've been doing this over and over. I mean, every time I try to turn these cops in for not doing their jobs, they either send me to the hospital and tell the hospital that I'm schizophrenic, or they lock me up on trumped up charges. And I've got the evidence that the paperwork that I was recently given, as well as the paperwork that they illegally prevented me from going to court. They literally put me in prison. I was locked up for 7 months last year. They charged me with misdemeanors, knowing full well that I was trying to turn them into the Nebraska State Patrol and that I did have help and a safe environment at that point in time. They got scared shitless and did everything that they could to have me locked up. Now, there's other people who are involved, like a guy named William Barr, and you'll be able to see by his own admission All right. The things that he told me, like that he works with the police as an or an internet investigator. I'm sorry, my mouth is dry. And it's really a lot to go through. But the whole thing about it is that this is like the sixth time that Dual County Sheriff's Department has done this. None of my public pretenders have even tried to defend me. Most of them basically did what the prosecution wanted. I was also threatened and intimidated by several of them, and I was treated like an animal.
Yeah.
I have evidence of that from all over the place. I also can show that I had to do some pretty desperate things to save people's lives, and that includes children, since Natalie was killed. So
Got a little bit to wait.
I think they're supposed to text her.
Okay.
So
It-
if you come over here, Tara. This is from Rochelle Campbell. This is one of Natalie's stepmothers who she got in contact with me first. She turned out she was either A, playing head games with me, or B, she didn't get the point. Like, we need to work together, not against each other, and I needed help stopping the violence that's obviously been going on. But January 28th, this was back in 2018 that we were this was taken, obviously. So this is messages between me and her. Also, like that, I give you an idea, a little bit of what's been going on. But I also want to show you that there's a lot of them from her. This is just a small selection that I grabbed just to show people I was telling the truth. Danica Lachelle Garner is her other stepmother. And I've got a bunch of, she also got in contact with me first. There was a lady named Cara Rogers who got us in contact with each other. If you look at this one right here, if you'll notice there's a phone number at the top. That's the reason we can't post most of this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I can show every part of what I've been saying is true. The problem is it takes literally hundreds and hundreds of hours to go through this stuff just to try to figure out how to use whatever version of the color or paint thing is on my computer just to scribble out that one little part.
Right.
You know, it says Nats Shelley. The reason that it says that is so that I could separate her from the other Shelleys that I know. Then there's people like, this is from Dan Faber. What did I do there? If I scroll down, here's some of the stuff that Natalie had posted on her Facebook about her car accidents, and she was sending me this stuff personally through Facebook at the time, and we can actually scroll through my Facebook. I can read the part that basically, you know, we were friends at the time, and that's not at all what she said. And then after I left, they should have just left me alone. They shouldn't have spread rumors, you know, they should have just left me alone. This one obviously is from Natalie. That's on my birthday right here in 2016 while I was visiting her.
Right.
If you notice, it's fuzzy.
Yeah.
Well, if you give it about a minute or so, it'll unfuzzy itself, but there's a lot on this computer. It's a lot of conversations between me and Natalie that show, while they were pretending I was stalking them, it was all stuff that they had asked me to do. The reason that I've had to post it up or save it this way is because I didn't have anyone in person to show it to. I tried to get it to different police agencies, including the stuff, and you'll get to see it too. Let's see. There's a lot of these folks that were threatening and harassing me and just kept on sending that stuff. This guy Braxton was pretty bad.
Yeah.
He claimed he was a friend of Natalie's, and I guess he might have been. But you see this one right here, this Gianna lady. I don't even know who she is. I literally got hundreds of these. This one says, "You sick fuck, everybody knows you did that to Natalie. How can you live with yourself hurting and murdering such innocent person who had beautiful soul and still had her whole life ahead of her? She was such a good person. I knew her personally. She was a friend of mine, and you took away from her family and friends. Not only you hurt her, but you also hurt all people who loved her. She didn't deserve what you did to her. Nobody does. I hope they catch you and may you rot in prison for life, get tortured while you were in there. Hope you kill yourself while you're at it. You don't belong living after everything you did to my friend. Justice for Natalie, blah, blah, blah." That's about the nicest one that was sent. And the
The
reason,
nicest.
right? Well, when you see the other ones, you'll get it. They wanted to claim that I was schizophrenic, like this stuff wasn't happening, like I didn't talk to these people, like I was imagining it, like, and all of my money is getting eaten up by the courts because they wanted to pretend some stupid shit. So this is all of that. Here's another lady. This is all after Natalie was killed. People were typing all of this stuff. There's also a lot of people that
I know.
this is a guy named Justin Mord. He was dating Natalie at the same
You wanna
time,
feel that?
but he wasn't the boyfriend who whose gun was used to shoot her in the head. This guy was just an asshole. And the thing is, oh fuck. I clicked on the picture and now it's blank. Let me go back. Here it is. Now this is Celine Antoinette Maestas. She said that she was friends with this guy. So, I became friends with her on Facebook and she was going to help me. The thing is, God, she's a man hater. It's scary as hell. But, this guy actually did date Natalie. That is actually true. But he's one of the people that was threatening me. He's like, my girlfriend is dead because of you. I'm looking for you, motherfucker. Am I wrong, or is that what it said?
Yeah.
All right. This is Shannon Alvarado. She tried to help, but my God, you can't. Drunk people are not help. That's about the best way to say that. I literally did everything I could to try to protect Natalie's family, especially at the very beginning. There's a lot of other people here who are witnesses to other situations where friends of mine were killed. This is Haley.
Yeah, I gotta sit down with him.
Yes, ma'am. Well, let me move out of this seat because I can't show it to you if you're not over here.
Okay. But yeah, I gotta sit down.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
You
sorry
sit-
for taking up the seating and not being gentlemanly. Like I was raised as a heathen. My mom said to me, "Close the door. Were you born in a barn?" I said, "No, but Jesus was, just trying to follow in his footsteps."
But yeah, I can see like that. That's fine.
And you're able to read them?
What are you drinking? No.
Whoa, that's
Absolutely not. Naughty.
God. All right, this is coffee and milk, so she's gonna get all lemonade. It's nasty that she put her tongue in it, but
Naughty.
I don't
Go
mind.
drink your water.
Mom's been drinking her water. Zena, go get it your water.
But I figured I'd have you look at some of that stuff. And obviously I'm gonna need to be there to explain the situation the best I can, but it became extremely complicated. So the best way to do it is to start at the very beginning.
Sounds like a good.
There's a lot of people that were involved, a lot of people that I went to for help. A lot of people were pretty mean and cruel. There was one friend I went to that, like, she literally made it out that she was going to make her life and Maddie's life and Alicia's life a living hell if I killed myself, which is fucked up. For an entire year before Natalie was killed, I begged people. I was like, either help me or kill me, please. You know, I need help. Please help me or kill me. I offered people my vehicle to fucking shoot me in the head. I told them I would dig my own hole. Fucking, you know, there's shit you don't say about a man if you didn't do it. You put his life through hell. And that's the thing, is that through all of this, Natalie and Alicia never claimed that I touched them inappropriately in any way, shape, or form. You know, we were seriously friends.
Friends can turn on you though.
Yeah, well, drugs were involved. They were addicted to heroin and meth. You know, it's something that's always a risk when you help people. There's a lot of people that are poor that are addicted to drugs. When, you know, there's a problem economically, people spend more money on sin. They spend more money at the strip club. They spend more money on booze. They spend more money on, you know, sin.
Mommy's sitting down, Zena.
It's how most people cope. They spend money to do stuff they're not supposed to.
Yep. What a vicious cycle.
Sometimes you can't help them.
Well, that's right. And when you can't help them, you leave. You see. Here's the thing: between pretending you're the bad guy and turning in their dealer, no fucking addict is going to turn in their dealer.
No, they're not.
And then you got to figure between a friend and your family, you're going to choose your family. Most occasions. The problem is that I needed Natalie to understand that people were threatening my life. And they were threatening to, you know, kill other people that I know. And they were literally assaulting me in real life. And I needed Natalie to understand that. And the people who are doing this shit to me are telling her, hey, you know, just ignore him, I'll take care of it. Like, that's not how you take care of it. I'm being assaulted for shit that I didn't do because she said that I stalked her, and it's obvious that I wasn't stalking her.
Right.
So I suppose the first thing I should do is go to the part where it's Natalie's website, and that way Terry can see it actually for herself. And if you read it out loud so that we can actually hear it, you know, you can hear the conversations between me and Natalie, or read the conversations between me and Natalie actually on my Facebook as well, like actually in the messenger.
Oh, well, where do you want me to start?
Um,
I was just,
I was just basically trying to give you a primer for catching up on 5 years of bullshit and why it's
I'm
important.
not gonna read a full 5 years.
Oh, it wouldn't be a full 5 years. Natalie and I, like, she died 4 years ago, and this stuff is still going on with the same cops, the same people in town harassing me and threatening me and crap like that. Like,
Okay.
literally all the people that I've been trying to turn in are the ones that got this paperwork.
Okay. Do you think you could pick me up, Mom? Do you think you could pick me up a Kickstart from Pump?
I suppose what flavor?
I think the only one that they have that I'll drink is the black cherry. You drink both
It was a
those?
Kickstart, not a.
Yeah, I'm asking you to grab me one
Oh.
of these.
Did you drink both those already?
What? What?
Oh, come on, please don't dork out on me now. I need you guys not to ADOS. Oh,
I'm not ADOS. I just asked
oh,
her.
she is.
I just asked her a question.
So what I need to do is get the mouse and show it to you. That's the thing. is
Okay.
that-
Well, yeah. Well, then show me which one you want me to do then.
Well, that's, you grabbed a hold of the mouse and I was letting you scroll through a bit of what you wanted to. But I wanted to show you where stuff was at.
Okay.
Then
yeah.
This right here, this is a lot of stuff with some of the friends. She ended up dead. That's Anna Hunka.
Mm-hmm.
She was a very good friend of mine. some of this is from friends that were aware of what was going on.
Excuse
A lot of these are threats and shit like that. Some of these are
okay. I
people
promise.
who
I'm
pretended
okay.
that they wanted to be my friend, and then it turned out that they were just trying to cherry pick crap out that they could use to
Yeah.
make me out to be some sort of creeper or some shit. I mean,
Okay.
it's really messed up.
Yeah, I was noticing that. So,
And obviously there's a lot of it. We haven't gone down very far,
yeah.
and we're already, you know, the reason that I
Make
put
sure
the
you get you
ringtone,
something
like
to
you
drink.
see at the top of these,
Mm.
that was a trick I learned because I had been trying to take a screenshot, and on one of them, it adjusted the ringtone before I took the screenshot.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
When you
you're
and
getting
Angela
bored with it.
paying for your-
Oh,
Whenever
no.
we have the
Um,
money.
Well,
But-
kind of, but yeah.
The
Right now,
the
we've been
ringtone
fucking
thing,
hours
that covers up the phone number,
not knowing
Yeah.
what the hell's
and it
going
covers
on.
up their name for their own safety.
Yeah.
I actually have all of these from the actual people that did it.
Mhm.
Since they
You know,
started
like right
enforcing
here,
all this other
you know, it says
bullshit.
who they actually are. This is Teresa, you know, our old babysitter Teresa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her and Brandy are both fucking assholes. But this is from Missy.
Stop.
There's a lot of stuff here from people that were friends of mine that did really messed up stuff. They knew stuff about what was going on. This is the evidence that shows that they knew stuff was going on and that they just never came forward. But, you know, it goes all the way back to 2005. So, I mean, you know,
Yeah. I didn't quite go that
obviously,
far, so.
obviously, you know, down here,
Well over 30 minutes.
2018 is when I
Okay.
first learned how to take
Sit down.
screenshots. So a lot of the screenshots that I wasn't able to take before, after Laura showed me how to do it, I screenshotted everything. It's on these phones.
Yeah.
So they're full of evidence too. The problem is trying to put the whole story together while
Yeah.
shit still keeps happening, and I'm in a constant state of panic because, like I
Okay.
said, it's been 5 years of it now.
Okay, so do you want to pause it so I can let her out?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Oh. So I guess, give me just a second. I want to put this over on Natalie's thing so you can read it.
Where's Nana? Come here.
Hey, puppy. Walter? What's his name?
No.
Yeah. I want to.
All dogs are puppies,
Yeah.
whether they're full grown or not.
Mommy will be right back.
All right.
Yeah, mommy will be right back. Missy. I
Turn
promise.
this
It's
off.
okay. Okay? It's okay. You take my phone. That's all.